Am I on?
You're on.
I'm on. Yeah, well, they've asked me to do a little piece about life in the artist's studio here. This is my studio, and I hope to give you some little insight into the tools of an artist. One of the most important things I use is a brush. This is a large brush. We call this a large brush for doing quite large areas. Now, if you want a larger brush, which is often the case with an artist who works on a very large scale, he'll use something like this. Now, this is known as a very large brush, and for painting wide expanses of colour, or if you're not going to use colour, then wide expanses of nothing much at all. Paint, of course, paint's important. Paint comes in tubes like this, and in tins. This is a tin of white paint used for painting the gaps between things, which are often white, as you'll notice on your trip to school in the morning. This is purple for old ladies that have been perfectly well educated are obliged to wear this colour when they reach the age of 70, 75. Otherwise people begin to doubt their originality of mind, and we can't have that. Oh, there's a bit of leakage there. That's known as leakage. It's nothing. There's nothing here for you. Nothing to see. Okay, so moving right along now. The next thing we must talk about is surfaces to paint on. Of course, you know, all these pictures are actually attached to something like this, you know, which is a large piece of paper. I like to use large pieces of paper in my work, especially ones that have this handy piece of plastic webbing on the back, which reinforces it and stops it bending, you know, when I cough or when somebody pokes their head through the curtains and talks, because you know the wind movement in the studio is really quite a hazardous affair. Anyway, there's nothing on these pictures at the moment. They're blank. I've not done anything on that one because I couldn't think of anything. But on this one there was this really good picture of a watering can, which was rising high over the streets of Shrewsbury, I think it was. But I rubbed that one out because apparently I was ripping off a Charlie Drake movie from the early 60s, and I've got to be very careful about copyright concerns. Yeah, so anyway, that's surfaces. Now to the works of art themselves. For instance, this over here, this is one of my works of art. It's one that I recently completed, which really, in essence, means that I didn't do it very long ago, and it's still wet. An older work of mine, which means that I think probably several weeks have elapsed since I painted it. It's dry now, so it won't smudge if you use it for sledging or for propelling offspring of family pets into the canal or into any sort of vats of corrosive substance. This one is a picture that I'm in the midst of. I was much inspired by a programme on the telly called Mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle. And it's about warplanes on the sea floor, and this is a man in a submersible who's trying to track down warplanes that have mysteriously disappeared during the war in the Bermuda Triangle. And you see, an artist really has to hunt down his inspiration. Every day he hunts it down, and I often use daytime telly while I'm having my porridge to hunt my inspiration down. That's really all I can tell you. That's all there is to being an artist, really. Well, where to now? Ah, yes, this one. This is another version of Warplanes on the Seafloor. I haven't really finished it yet because some of the lines are a bit grey, a bit like cigarette ash and water. When I do finish it, they'll be much darker, and it'll be easier for you to grasp the image. That one's called An Angel Comes, and it's a very spiritual piece of mine. If you look into my eyes, you'll notice exactly quite the depth of my spirituality. All over here, these are endomorphs. A special little set of things I was working on, which are basically self-portraits. Exactly basically a nerve map of what it feels like to be me, and it really isn't quite as appalling as it looks. There are some gentle moments. Sometimes it feels my nerves are steeped in Ovaltine. Sometimes it feels that I'm holding a cigarette lighter to the very marrow of me. And these you're going to find out about very soon. In fact, this was just a subterfuge to get you interested in these scribnals. Cut!